Hey, you guys, back again with another message from the Lord. Set on this message, but then God confirmed this message with the other message, and I released that one first. But I had a dream the night before, and I had saw in the dream where someone family members want them to go back into bondage. Like I said, a lot of you guys, y'all have broken off strongholds off of you, and it stopped with you, and your family are able to see it. Were able to see it because they went to unholy places, and now the enemy is attacking you, or trying to get you to go back into the agreement with the family bloodline curse or the bondage. And this curse that they want you to come back into agreement with is the curse of marriage. You might be in a family where your family cannot stay married. That divorce is a curse that they either don't get married or get married and the marriage don't last long. And God has called that curse or that bondage or that stronghold to be broken off through you. And so now they want you to come into a demonic covenant again with them so they can put you back in bondage. Because whoever put this curse on the bloodline, they went to an unholy place. They went to a sorcerer, a witch, a warlock, or whatever. And that's what they sacrificed for the bloodline, was marriage. And now that you are going in the opposite direction, now that you have broken those things off of yourself, now that you have broken those things off of the bloodline, they want you to come back into agreement with it, because you came out of agreement with a lot of things that ran throughout the bloodline. This is for someone that has been praying and fasting and asking God to take them out of agreement, to take them out of demonic covenant of every type of wickedness, illness, diseases, bondage throughout the bloodline. You broke it, whether you realize it or not. And you broke it through knowledge, by reading your word, by fasting, by praying. That's how you broke it. That's how strongholds y'all are broken. And by putting yourself around other men and women of God who can pour into you and teach you the resources about how to break these spiritual strongholds, how to break these generational curses, how to break these bloodline curses. It helped you to break them, it helped you to break them whether you realize it or not. So in the dream, I saw where cousins, because these cousins know about this bloodline curse, know about this generational curse. They try to come together to get you to come into agreement with them trying to not want you to get married, because your marriage is going to be a godly marriage. Your marriage is going to be an ordained marriage. Another thing in your family, you might see that people are married, but they're not with who God has want them to be ordained with. So therefore, they are in toxic marriages. Therefore, they are in abusive marriages. Therefore, they are in domestic violent marriages. And God doesn't want that for you. You might have broken, you might have even been married before, but you got married like through witchcraft, like it was a witchcraft that was on you that caused you to be in a demonic marriage. And now that God has released you from that, you are going to be into a God ordained marriage, because now you are waiting on him. Now you are consulting him. Now you are being ye separated. Now you have come out of a demonic covenant with your family members, right? Because a lot of your family members were doing spell work, so you could be in that type of relationship to you where you were always being abused and manipulated and taken for granted and taken advantage of, because like I told you guys in a previous video, stress is a silent killer. And a lot of these people in your family members had wanted you dead, but they were trying to do it in a way that blood wouldn't be on their hands in the physical, but blood was still going to be on their hands in the spiritual, because they were doing demonic things, going to unholy places, doing rituals, doing spell work, doing love spells, doing separation spells, doing death rituals, doing all these things to try to keep you in bondage. And you broken those strongholds by educating yourself through the word, by educating yourself through knowledge, by getting the proper mentor ship, the proper counseling. You was able to break those strongholds, and now your family members want you to go back in bondage. Because what I seen was, it's like a cousin that's very, very obsessed with you about being married. And y'all, it's like incest. I'm gonna be honest with you. And incest is a demonic curse. It is a demonic curse. Um and it is a ritual. If That's another ritual that people will do to keep the family in bondage when they don't want the bloodline um to grow and expand and reach their full purpose. And so that is a curse. And what they're trying to do is like, they don't want you to be married because they don't want you to get what you want to do. And it's kind of like, it's really like an obsession, incest obsession, with it's not of God. And we bind it, we rebuke it, we denounce it, and we call it cancel. However, be mindful, because your family wants you to go back into a place of bondage. And God has set you free. And who the Son set free is free indeed. If you have been noticing weird things like this in your dreams, you need to start praying, you need to start fasting, you need to start rebuking, you need to start praying as soon as you wake up, like, God, wherever the enemy tried to sow in my sleep that is not of you, we denounce and rebuke it, and we call it cancel. Okay, because they will try to do things, especially at the end of the year and the top of a new year. They will try to do things to try to ruin or delay or distract your year from the things that God wants you to do in this season. Okay, the enemy is can be very strategic, but God is even more strategic. Okay, but be mindful of this. But your family wants you back in bondage. They want you back in bondage. All right, but you're not going that way. Be mindful of this. Continue to stay your distance. Continue to set healthy boundaries and standards. And make sure you are doing those things that are pleasing to the Father, because a curse without cause shall not come. All right, make sure you're staying in alignment with God. Make sure you are being obedient to God, because God will deal with them for tormenting you. But God wants me to come and let you know that your family members are trying to put you back in a place of bondage, because you've broken the strongholds off of you and your bloodline. All right. So I love you again. I pray that you all have an amazing day, and I will chat with you all later.